Who actually enjoyed Game of Thrones out of this group? Okay, fuck you. Four. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, I watched
So
Knight's Tale.
what was?
Oh, dude, hell yeah!
Hey, Hannah.
Give me Martin Lawrence any day.
Buddy. Yeah.
Ask Tanner about Lucifer.
That's a great show, man.
No, but just ask him about it.
I've been meaning to like look
There's
into
something
that a
about
little bit. Cause
So-
Are you talking about the show on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic
It's
show.
We'll cut this shit.
We're
Yeah.
cutting a lot of this out.
Yeah.
So let's get back on something relatable.
But
So my ex fucked me over so bad.
So
How bad was it,
hold
Brad?
on.
I narrowly avoided a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
Hold on.
Whoa, is this fucking true?
Really?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Not the multi-million-dollar
Hold on.
part. A few grand.
Multi-thousand.
A few yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, Brad. You were telling me a story about this girl.
Yeah, same person.
Yeah. Okay.
Same
I want to hear
cunt.
this.
Yep, yeah.
Let's get this going.
Oh,
I need to hear
sweet.
this. I need to hear this.
This guy.
All right, so
Huh?
what about Lucifer?
No, remember I told you about Lucifer earlier?
Yeah, I'm about to talk about her. Trust me. I'm about to talk about her.
She's a great person.
She's a terrible human being.
The Flash.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What about it?
You said you were going to tell her about it, so I was going to remind
Ooh,
her.
Oh,
Easy
tell
done.
her about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right there,
the
yeah.
guy that plays Lucifer is going to be in Flash.
I never got
As Lucifer.
Yeah.
Hold on, okay.
Lucifer
And I'll get to the story.
is going to be in
I can just start
Flash.
talking now though.
Anyway.
Anyway,
DC.
Alright,
He's
go ahead.
hot, so I mean, I'll watch it.
the year's
Have you
2015.
seen him?
I watched all of it.
But I mean, like, have you seen?
The year's
Continue, Brad.
2015. The air is crisp and cool.
And that-
It's autumn. I love this time of year. I hate that Oklahoma only fucking just skips it every fucking year. Every time we get to autumn, dude, it's like here's 2 or 3 days of oh my god, a leaf fell, and then fucking cold, freezing weathers, man. Fuck you. I hate Oklahoma. Anyway,
Oh my god, I need a pumpkin spice macchiato.
I worked at a very, very reputable establishment. And by reputable, I mean a bunch of teenagers loved this shop because it's where they got all their cool fucking sneakers and shoes.
I mean, that could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. This place was,
Does it rhyme with floozies?
let's just say it takes quite an adventure to get there, a journey, if you will. But, let me just take this off real quick.
I think we should cut that part out.
To the Center of the Earth with Brendan Fraser.
The first one, I love that movie.
Yeah,
He
it was
should have
good.
fucking taken the opportunity of the second one because The
Yeah.
Rock took it and they made bang. Anyway.
Yeah, The Rock took it in his ginormous tits and just started like bouncing.
Brendan
charges
Fraser was
off of it.
better in Looney Tunes Back in Action anyway.
Anyway,
Back to Lucifer.
I'm the co-manager of this establishment. My good friend is the manager, and he's going through some new hire applications, and he's set aside the ones that he's going to hire. And I look at one of them, and I notice a name. It's a person that I have, I've got some experience being around, because she's a friend of mine. Anyway, I wasn't like super excited about it. I was just like, oh, that's cool. The first week of her working there, she asked me if I wanted to play Monopoly. She had the Adventure Time edition of Monopoly. So I was like, okay, why not? So I turned to my brother and I said, Dylan, look, I don't necessarily want to go over here and then get caught with my fly down or anything. So could you come over and also keep company? That way I have an excuse not to do anything. He's like, sure, homie, no problem. I got you. So we get there and we spent about 3 hours drinking and smoking and talking about random bullshit. Not once we played Monopoly. I was a little upset about that.
It's like a really
We
good
can feel it.
So I'm like, well, about that time to go. I gotta open up shop in the morning. I gotta be there at 9 o'clock, so I had an actual legitimate excuse. However, as soon as we left, Dylan leaves out the door first.
Sound like Steve.
I come out the door second. I'm walking down the steps. My hand gets tugged. I get away, I get loose. But she's looking at me. I turn around, she's looking at me like you are me. But she's got this longing sensation. She's biting her bottom lip like.
Watch your bum lip. Watch your bum lip,
Please
boy.
bite it. Yes.
Oh my god.
She was giving me
I
the
got you,
fuck
man.
eyes.
Done.
And I was like, Dylan, start the truck, we gotta go. We fucking bolted. Anyway, about a week later, she was like, hey, sorry we never actually ended up playing Monopoly. I'm like, you better be fucking sorry. I was looking forward to that.
Well, yeah, dude, it's Adventure Time Monopoly.
Yeah.
Not only that, I have
What?
experience. I have experience fucking ruining friendships with the train station. I just wanted to ruin a friendship with the unicorn thing. The fucking, what's that unicorn's name? Yeah. Is it Lady Unicorn?
That's
Lady
Lady
Rainicorn.
Oh, Rainicorn. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a Rainicorn
jackass.
station.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
So I was like, okay, alright, bet, let's do this. Dylan, please come over. Play Monopoly with us. He's like, alright, cool. I love you, homie. We're gonna do this. This guy is so cool. We get over to my place. I'm rooming with a cool person who later comes into the story later on into the relationship. Almost said her name.
Lucifer.
Satan came over. Dylan was already there because he gave me a ride home. At this point, my roommate and it was pretty litty. Anyway, I was smoking on break one day, and then I shoved everything in my glove compartment because I was like, I'm gonna be late. So I ran inside. She came to the mall to pick up the car because she had to go run some errands. I completely forgot that I had a full sack of weed in there with paraphernalia. She goes and drives it. She gets pulled over at the intersection at Madison and Adams, and she got pulled over by a canine unit. So because the dogs are giving off this alert, they have consent to search.
Nice.
Probable cause and shit. So they do. They find my stuff. She's surprised. She's surprised. The cop's surprised. Like, she's got no way to say, like, hey, that's my roommate's and get away with it, because it doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
It ain't mine.
It ain't mine. Well, it's not gotta be somebody's.
It's my car, but I'm
Right? Anyway.
What's a weed?
What's the marijuana? Anyway. Fucking Satan. Comes over. Me and Dylan had gone to Casey's right down the road, because I'm living on Elmhurst. It's just a few blocks over. I did this thing where I would usually go in and get a big old 44-ounce styrofoam cup, and I'd go to the frozen yogurt machine and fill it up. Spend like 90 cents on a big old 44 ounce of fucking.
Would you do it exactly?
Not 44
like
ounces, but.
Is that exactly how you do it?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel spicy. I get vanilla and put some root beer in there. Anyway, I did that with the hot cocoa machine. And I have this thing where my alcohol preference is Everclear because I'm a cheap drunk. I like to get drunk on the most amount of. I like to get drunk on the least amount of money possible, and I also like to have more saved for next time. Everclear will do that for you.
So you're a Jew.
I'm just.
Only when it comes to his alcohol.
I'm just fucking, I live in poverty, son. You get used to penny pinching, but I filled this thing up with the hot cocoa, and I also put a decent amount of fucking Everclear in there, enough to fucking get so sloshed during this endeavor. We start playing Monopoly, and it's a good game. It's going pretty well. People are like, they're adhering to the rules. No one's acting shady, trying to pocket anything from the bank. Everyone's passing go and collecting $200. Awesome. Something happens. She fell off my bed. I don't know how. She fell. Natural instinct took over. Catch. And as soon as I went, oh shit. Her weight took me with her because I was thrusting myself and my momentum carried me at the perfect moment to where she linked up and tugged me down.
Why do I feel like this is his virginity story?
This is a hentai story, dude. We landed on the ground and I got her boob in my hand, and she's looking at me, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and Dylan looked at both of us, and he was like, uh-oh. And she just nommed on me. She just attacked me. She's tearing my clothes off. She's getting freaky. Dylan, being the amazing, magnificent brother he is, he just stood there. He's like, I'm gonna go in the living room, chill on the couch until you're done.
This is the most fantastic
He goes.
introduction.
He goes into that living room,
We need to
unbeknownst to him, for a lot longer than he probably would have agreed to. In the midst of this, she did kick down my drink. My Everclear poison fucking hot chocolate was just everywhere all over my floor, so we moved it to the bed.
That's why she's Satan.
She is Satan. Anyway, she bled everywhere too, I'm not gonna lie. Like, she wasn't on her period, it's just, it went on for an hour and 45 minutes before I could, because I was so heavily intoxicated, I couldn't feel my shit at all. But I was also super duper rough because like she seemed to be super fucking into it, so I was like, alright, I'll make your legs break, fuck it. Anyway, we get through that.
I'm sorry.
And I don't want to lie, guys.
See,
When
you
I'm
fucking like that, don't you?
when I'm drunk and I don't have kids in the house, and I didn't have kids back then, I'm not exactly quiet. Now, I have a vent in the corner of my room that connects to my roommate's room, and they were like whispering things of encouragement, like sweet nothings into the vent, just like, go get her, Red! You fucking knocked that door at the park!
So wait, you were roommates with Kermit?
Almost. She's got a deep voice.
Satan? No.
One thing that I didn't like about my whole housing situation was I didn't have a bedroom door.
Oh.
The entire house bared witness to the defloration of this woman. She wasn't a virgin by any means. I'll get to that in a fucking minute. She wasn't a virgin by any means. But, she's fun. She can't move. I walk out there, I wrapped a towel around me, I walked out, I went to the fridge and I grabbed water. I was so fucking thirsty. I couldn't feel my tongue, it was so dry. Like if it touched the roof of my mouth, it would have been stuck. I just start chugging. And Dylan is sitting on the couch like
What the fuck?
Just watch me chug this morning.
an hour and 45 minutes? I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought this was America and you had the freedom to leave. Bless his heart, he gave her a ride home. He gave her the fucking nicest thing he could have fucking done that entire night.
Wait, he gave
Next
her a
to
ride home.
stopping me. Alright, so, we might as well jump into this fucking rabbit hole. We're going deep. It's gonna get dark, so get your fucking torches, guys.
It's deep and hard, bro.
What? Like, there ain't no rope long enough to get you to the bottom of
Deep
this.
into the looking ass.
Now, I'm not,
Epsilon.
now, you, fuck!
I've
Edit
never
that
heard
out.
of this, but he sounds like a dope dude.
He sounds pretty cool,
Yeah.
but he's not here.
Yeah.
Anyway. You guys
Well,
know, like, I'm not the
berries.
type of person who just talks about, like, sex. I'm not a braggadocious kind of dude. I'm just not. I'm not the type of person to fuck you and ditch you. So I was like, oh sure, now I gotta, what was I drunk?
I'm the type of person to have my
She
brother
spilled
take
my
you
drink
home.
everywhere. We didn't finish the game of Monopoly. Instead of ruining a friendship, I fucking created a relationship that lasted a year and a half. Now,
You passed go and collected 200 pussy.
I passed go and collected $2,000 in debt to the fucking government.
Whoa, that's not
She
how
passed go and got
No, dude, this gets even worse. So we're dating. The first few months are going pretty alright. And then I start seeing some subtle differences that were definitely not there in the beginning of the relationship.
Never is.
Right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm the type of person who definitely wants the, what's it called, the lovebird, or the puppy
Honeymoon
love
phase.
yeah, that one.
Honeymoon?
The honeymoon phase. I want that to last for fucking ever. Because
Ours is
you guys don't know everything about each other, but you're still getting off to each other super fucking easy, and it's always just like,
Always good for a cheap laugh.
I started noticing shifts in my bank account, right? Now, I'm a co-manager at what I make now.
So if you were straight, you'd only be making 400.
I had my bank account over at right next to where we work now, the Oklahoma Federal Credit Union. It was a good place. My previous boss, who same store but just she left, She told me I need to get a bank account here. It's gonna be great. They won't give you like those hidden fees. They won't try to steal money from you.
That's what they all say.
I mean,
Right.
they did right to the very end. Anyway, I went to go get some cash back so I could go buy some pot when it was illegal. And anyway, it said insufficient funds, and I was like, that's bullshit. I should have at least $180 in there. No, I should have at least $160 in there, and that price will come into account later. Didn't have it, didn't think anything of it. I was like, knowing me, I don't fucking count all the fucking money I spent. I probably spent the $160 collectively somewhere else. I went all of my day. But it was a consistent thing, like week after week. It's like, that's strange. Anyway, we were drinking one night, and she got all drunk, and she got all teary-eyed. She's like, I have something to tell you. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, uh-oh.
This is never good.
Uh-oh, what happened? She's like, so, you know how you let me use your bank card and like when I can get something to eat? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I've been getting cash back so I could get stuff for someone. I'm like, what kind of stuff? Like, obviously you're not going to a store for this stuff because I don't got an ATM. Well, I've been getting heroin. Oh. And I was like, whoa, shit! You could have told me you were going to this place that's like out in the country and like you paying $50, they give you a baseball bat and you go and you crush puppy skulls. I would have been like less fucking like it would have been better than what she had told me.
Oh,
The puppies.
Don't count. It's okay.
I didn't say they were live.
No public schools were harmed.
Anyway.
That's
Anyway,
what we need a fucking rage room.
It's okay, alright.
Just bank accounts and feelings were harmed.
She
That's
fucking
all.
laid down as soon as he said that.
I mean, it had been a few months. At this point, we're like, I already let her move in with me, so like all her shit's here, and it's like, if I kick her out and she's got no place to go, then I'm the bad guy, and I don't fucking do so,
Being the bad guy.
So we had to talk about it, and I was like, hey, so
How about quitting it?
I thought quitting heroin. Well, apparently it went deeper than that. I was like, so when did this start?
Heroin.
When did this start? Like, was this before me? Or she's like, well, now before we got into the relationship, and before she got into town, and before she got the job at she was stuck in Texas for quite a few months. I remember she went to Texas, and she was there for a few months, and I remember seeing posts on Facebook of her trying to receive help to get back to Oklahoma via bus ride tickets or whatnot. And she started to tell me, so you know when I went to Texas earlier in the summer, and I was like, uh-huh. She's like, well, I never told you why I went to Texas. And I was like, I know, but why? You remember? Okay.
Beelzebub.
You remember RT? I'm just gonna call this guy RT. It's a variation of his name. Let's just say RT stands for real tall, because he's a real tall motherfucker.
Real talk.
He was in the game of, look, I know quite a few people because I've run quite a few pounds of drugs in my life. If you start taking pictures of yourself and sending them to this pimp, he'll give you money because he'll sell that shit online. If you want, I can get you to that pimp and you can start working for him on the streets. He's in Tulsa, I'll drive you there, but you'll be making like $2,000 a week. Or even more, is what he said to and she was immediately like, oh hell yeah, I love sex, I'll fucking do it. So she goes to Texas, gets to meet this pimp, gets stuck in Texas because she thought pimps were honest people. She thought, this pimp's gonna be like the manager at Dollar General. He's gonna give me my paycheck that I earn. No, what you do as a prostitute is, you have sex with a person, you get money. You go to your pimp, you give them that money. That pimp gives you a place to stay, and they give you a couple dollars for food here and there. It took her like 3 months to get to Oklahoma because she didn't have any money for a bus ride. So she finally got to Oklahoma, and then that's when she started working at a shoe store. She didn't tell me any of this before the relationship started. Now, I'm not gonna judge. I mean, I'll sleep with a prostitute. No, I won't pay. for a prostitute because I would just feel bad about. I'm like, wow, I have to go pay someone to have sex with me. Like this is fucked up.
Have a
But
camera, then it's a porno.
but if somebody is a prostitute and they want to fuck me, it's like, hey,
Just
why
don't play
not?
Disney music.
I'll at least put a condom on. I never wore a condom with her.
Oh.
Once. I fucked her in and out, in and out. I fucked her booty hole. Like I wasn't censored at all.
There wasn't a single hole out of his reach.
Thankfully I never experienced an itch or a burn. So like
Okay.
I don't know how the fuck.
Safety first.
But like it scared the fuck out of me. I started panicking. But I for some
Were
reason
you at a disco?
I for some reason stayed with her. I
You
stayed
stayed with her after that?
I don't know why. I was like, you know what? I don't judge people. I really don't have a problem with you being a prostitute. But I mean, as long as you don't cheat on me, we're good.
Man, she
I mean,
must
that
be
was it. Used
literally
used to
the
be a
most
prostitute.
forgiving person.
Right.
I've ever
Yeah,
met in my
right.
life.
It's got me into a lot of doo doo in the day. Now, skip a couple months ahead. Dylan, my brother, he is leaving the shop. He's going to move to Tulsa, so he's going to go to a different shop. Same company, it's the same store, but it's a subcategory of the store. They have a kids version. They have like this urban, suburban version. My I fucking hate this guy.
God damn it.
My district manager, I hate this guy for two reasons. One, he's a piece of shit, and two, his last name is the worst color on the spectrum. And it used to be considered royalty at a point. Blue. His last name is Blue, and his first name is too close to my first name. I won't even say it. Anyway, he's like, hey, who do you think should be your co-manager? Because I was the manager at this point. Who do you think should be your co-manager? Dylan was my co-manager, and he's leaving. I ain't a new co-manager. You have to have a manager and a co-manager. So I was like, hey, Madison, she's a really cool person. She does her job. She works hard. He's like, yeah, but she's still in school, and I don't want that conflicting. I'm like, what about this person? Lucifer. I was like, I don't want to talk bad. That's not right. And I was like, well, I don't know what kind of management experience she's had. Blah blah blah. She hasn't had any. This was the first time she had management experience because Brandon. Oh, I said his name. Brandon Blue said, I'll fucking hire her. She saw this as an opportunity to never have to come into work unless I was pissed off enough to yell at her to come into work. I would be at work, and this is why I would tell you guys, I used to work 12-hour shifts every fucking day for a year. Because she wouldn't come into work. We open at 9, we close at 9. I would be there at 9, I'd leave at 9. It was ridiculous. Came to a point where... Oh, by the way, that $106 came into play later on in the story. I forgot to mention. A full gram of heroin in Tulsa with the Mexican cartel is $160. It's $90 if you get a half gram. So if you get a full gram, you're saving like 30 or 20 bucks. Anywho,
The more you know.
the more you know. Anyway,
What was
You added that in there.
Rainbow.
Edit the rainbow right over his head.
yeah. If there was any opportunity I had to get her to be there so I didn't have to be there, I would take it. Now, somehow, I got her to come in to work and open one day without me being there. And then I was running late that day, and I really didn't want to be late because they're pretty fucking strict about you clocking in on time. So I was like, hey, clock me in real quick, my password is this. So you know when a water is like traveling, and then there's like no more stuff to travel on, and it just starts falling. It was all downhill from there. Unbeknownst to me, for the next 9 months, she had been reprinting receipts that were made out to either cash or debit, couldn't be credit or check. And she was returning shoes that she did not physically have to return. She did this so much that when I got an audit, they told me that there's $3,000 worth of merchandise missing here. And I was like, well, first I was like, that ain't, what? No, let's both count this shit together. We counted like 1,000 pairs of shoes and like 15,000 pairs of socks, and it was ridiculous. And they're like, yep, here are the numbers, here they are. And then they went through, because we have everything cataloged on our computers, every transaction, all the history of everything, and we can see where a shoe has gone and why it was gone. They saw all these returns done in cash under my user and password.
Oh shit.
They took me into the back of the store to talk about this. My area sales manager did. While he's doing this, I noticed fucking Beelzebub creeping through the corner, and then she's gone. She left the store. She quit right then and there. She left. She told me when I fucking confronted her, she told me, I saw how they were treating you, and I just don't agree with how they're doing that, so I don't even want to work for them. I'm like, well, if you at least work for them, fucking give us some money back. Like, not like steal, but like at least a paycheck's worth it. Cause I was making $1,500 a paycheck at that point because of how much overtime I was working. So if she's gonna be working overtime, she's gonna be making about the same much because nobody heard the manager. Anyway, that was like sign number one that you fucked me over. You fucked me over. So they're talking to me in the back of the store, and I'm like, look, you have one of two options. You already know you don't work here, and you're never gonna be allowed in the store again, like any of them. So I was like, I don't care about that. And they're like, you either continue with your story telling us you don't know anything about this and you haven't done it, and you go to jail tonight and we take you to court over this. Or you don't go to jail, you sign this paper and a written confession of you doing it, and like I said, you don't go to jail, you still take you to court, but it'll be under the, like, it'll be on the down low, it won't be public, it won't be anything like that. And I was like, give me the fucking papers. Give me the papers. And I was like, I put it down real quick and I was like, can I start packing my stuff? Because I practically lived here. I had a bunch of stuff, personal stuff there. And not to mention, we were talking about loot crates earlier, I had loot crates shipped to the store for me. Like, all my mail came to the store because I lived there. And so I was packing all my shit up in the big green bags, I almost said the fucking name, of them in there. And they had a cop there, they had all the security officers, or security dudes from the mall there. And they all left to ask the employees and whatnot. And while I'm back there, I took the papers and I didn't put my name on it. I didn't date it. I didn't write a confession. All I wrote was, I'm a man who has been pushed too hard. Period. Face down, set it aside, grab my shit, and I'll leave. And this cop comes in who's a regular of the mall, and he's like, what happened? We're friends. And he's like, what happened? I'm like, I explained to him, like, she stole? Or I didn't say that yet, because I didn't know for sure yet. Like, they think I stole $3,000 worth of merchandise. Did you? You know me. He's like, fuck. So I just left. So when I confronted her about it, she starts fucking panicking and shit. She's crying. She's got the snot everywhere. And
not the snot.
The snot's everywhere. It's like, at this point, I just lost my fucking job that I had handed to me by a very dear friend of mine who used to run the place. Like, I had a really good reputation at this place, this establishment. And now I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be allowed at the mall anymore. They don't like me there, but I still go. They can't tell me to leave. So she went on this tangent, and for some reason I still stayed with her. It didn't take until the second.
At some point, it's your fault.
I know, but I didn't break up with her until the. Wait a minute.
Oh, God.
Hang on. No. Okay.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. It was because we broke up after that. However,
Oh man.
she had borrowed my car
Of course.
to go to Tulsa in the rain, and
Keeps going downhill, dude. God, man. Can I tell you, there's so many times that this could have been an opening to a music video.
she wanted to get some heroin, and she was going for an exit, and she hit it too hard, and my car started spinning out, and it got totaled. And at this point, I had most of my good shit in my car. I had my laptop, I had my work clothes in there, I had my Doc Martens in there, dude.
Not the Doc.
My Doc Martens, bro!
No!
I'm so fucking glad I didn't have my longboard in there.
Oh,
Not the one.
then you
She
would've been in jail
totaled my
forever.
fucking car,
I'm glad that
and
Doc
she
Martens
still
happened.
went and got her drugs. That's how fucking. I was like, what the fuck?
Rip in
Priorities,
peace.
man.
I was going to the apartment we both used to own, and by the way, I also lost that because of her. She stopped paying rent on it. We had a 6-month lease. 3 months into it, I was like, take my name off the lease because that's when we broke up. Take my name off the lease. I'm gonna go talk to the manager. Have my name taken off, and whatever. And then I'll come get my shit later. Cause I don't want to see you right now. Fucking, you're disgusting, basically. And went to talk to the manager, and she also said she talked to the manager, but my name still didn't get off that fucking lease for some reason.
Why didn't you do it?
The manager's the one who has the power. the manager of the apartment complex. I went to her. I was like, look, take my name off the lease. She's like, sign here. I signed there. For some reason, 3 months go by. She's not paying rent on this place. All my shit's still in there. I'm like, hey, can I get my shit out of that place? Like, yeah, come back tomorrow in the morning. Blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go there, and they're like, they're looking. They're not even looking at me. They're like acting like I don't even exist. And I'm like, can I get my shit from that apartment? And she turned, like, the manager, like, puts her shit to the side. She's like, you don't have any permission to go into that place. I don't even want you on my property right now. I'm like, what the fuck happened? She's like, we went up there last night, and it looked like people burglarized the place. Like, they broke in, and she said, like, dressers were taken out of the drawers and, like, just fucking toppled over. And I was like, okay, I had a gecko, a jumbo leopard gecko in that place that was from my teenage adolescence. And I was like, is there anything alive in there still? And she's like, nothing could survive in there. I was like, what the fuck? Let me go in there and get my shit. She's like, you can't get your shit. I'm like, fuck you. And all of the shit that I had accumulated in my life was suddenly vanished. I never got to say goodbye to any of it.
Not even the gecko?
Not even the gecko. I went up to her face, my ex, and I went to go get my, because I lost my bank card, but I knew she fucking had it. I went to go get my bank card, and I went to go get my food stamps card, because at this time I had a 3-month emergency food stamps situation, because after I lost my job, I didn't have any fucking money to feed myself, so they gave me 3 months food stamps. But of course, me being the nice guy, I'm like, hey, I'll give you some fucking food too. You're an asshole, but I'm not an asshole. Oh, how does that work? So I give her some food stamps money. She used her fair portion of it. So I was like, I need that back. I need my bank card back, definitely, because I know you have it. She gave me my bank card, and I was like, where's the fucking food stamps card? And she's like, I don't have it. I lost it. I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, you have it. She said, I know you have it. And so I was about to go search for it myself. She stopped me. She like shoved me to the side. She grabbed a pair of scissors and got the card. She cut it in half right in front of me. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, why are you fucking doing that?
For some reason,
I looked at her and I called her. I've never said anything bad, but I was like, "You're a fucking cunt. You're the biggest cunt I've ever fucking met." And I just went off on her, and she looked at me and she punched me right in the face. I wanted to hit her back so fucking bad, but I'm like,
Shut up.
I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. So I just walked out of there, and like at this point, she had a guy around her who was her ex before me. But he's nothing. He's shit. He's got like a pathetic little army because he got fucked up in a shopping cart tree accident. Fuck you, Tate. And he jumped between us as if I was the one inducing everything. Like I hit her, and I'm like, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. All y'all ain't shit. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck your favorite color, I'm out. And I left, and I never spoke to her again. And she tried consistently trying to like text me every now and then, but after a year and a half, after the second time she punched me, after the theft, after the stealing and making it look like me, after the ruining my car, after the losing my job and losing my apartment and everything I ever built up in my life, that was the last straw.
So wait,
You lost everything.
I would have
Dropped
dropped
that
that.
bitch.
I swear to God,
A
Brett.
while.
Except for this shirt.
I'm taking you to Panda Express and you get 3 entrees because this
You
is
work at Panda
bullshit.
Express?
Fuck no, but I'll buy it for you.
I hope
I
you
don't
get
give a
discount.
shit like that.
wait, baby, where's my food?
Oh no, you didn't go through the struggles like Brad did, man.
Did you see that power
My
move just now?
God.
She's like, no, yes.
I would get into the story about the first time she punched me, but that also involves the story of my first 5-year long-term relationship with a woman twice my age from England, but I will not do that right
Yeah,
now.
I know, fuck that.
We gotta get more likes and subscribers for that shit.
That's for our
I need a
Patreon.
break.